Good morning, my dear students. Welcome to today's science class. So we are going to continue the same chapter, that is chapter number 7, Getting to Know Plants. So now, before we begin the chapter, let us recap what we have done in the previous class. So in the previous class, we discussed about the plant part called leaf. Leaf is majorly responsible for the process of photosynthesis. The plant prepares the food it requires in the leaves. Not only the leaves are responsible for photosynthesis, it is also responsible for another process called transpiration. Transpiration is the process of removal of excess water from the plant body in the form of vapor. Now let's look at the part of the leaves. So the parts of the leaves are petiole, lamina, veins and midrib. So what are petiole? Petiole are the stalk via which the leaf is joined or attached to the stem or the branch of the plant. Lamina is the flat surface or the green portion of any leaf on which the photosynthesis takes place. So the lamina is the flat surface which we see on the leaf. Veins are the lines which runs on the surface of the leaf, and the designs and the patterns of the veins may be different, and those designs or patterns are called venation. The main function of the vein is to transport water to different parts of the leaf. Midrib is the central prominent thick structure right in the middle of the leaf that helps and supports the leaf and prevent it from breaking. Now this is the picture of a leaf, and now let us look at the different parts of the leaf. So this is the tip of the leaf and the flat surface, the green surface where photosynthesis takes place is the lamella. This is the stalk called petiole, with the help of which it is attached or joined to the branch or stem of the plant. Then these are the veins, and the edge of the leaf is called margin, and the central thick prominent part of the leaf is the midrib. So these are the structures of the parts of leaf. Now let's also distinguish between the major types of leaf venation. So we also discussed about that there are two major types of leaf venation, that is reticulate venation and parallel venation. Reticulate venation is a type of venation which is seen on the leaf, and it is a shape which shows a net-like structure on either side of the midrib, and reticulate venation is seen in dicot plants like guava and mango. Another type of venation is parallel venation, and it exists when the veins run parallel to the midrib. This type of venation is seen in monocot plants like banana, wheat, coconut, etc. So here you can see in the picture, so this is the parallel venation and this is the reticulate venation seen in leaves. So after looking into what we have learned in the previous class, let us look into what we are going to learn in today's class. So after today's class, you'll be able to explain the different parts of a flower, describe the purpose of the flower's part, and also describe the functions of flower. So here you can see a picture where many flowers are blooming, and the flower is the most attractive part of the plant as it is of different colors and it is very brightly colored, and it attracts not only us, it also attracts other animals and insects. Yes, so let's learn more about this part of the plant. So flower is usually the most attractive part of a plant, as I have already mentioned, and it is also known as modified shoot. A flower is also known as a bloom or blossom and is the reproductive structure found in flowering plants. So the flower structure contains the plant's reproductive organ, and its function is to produce seeds through reproduction. So the flower contains the reproductive part of the plant, and the primary purpose of a flower is reproduction. Now let's look into the parts of a flower in detail. The flower has different parts, namely sepals, petals, stamen and pistils, and they are the main parts of a flower. So the parts of the flower are usually present in a ring or holes. Pedicle, it is the stalk that joins a flower to the plant and it is called the pedicle. Sepals is the outermost hole of the flower. Often they are very small and they are green leaf-like structures and they protect the inner part of a flower while it is still a bud. Petals, inside the sepals there is the hole of petals. Different flowers have petals of different colors. Some flowers have sweet smelling petals. With its color and fragrance, the petals attract not only human but also the insects and birds. So the most colorful part of a flower is the petal. Now let's look at the other two parts of a flower, that is stamen and pistil. So there are 4 to 6 number of stamen in a flower and it is the male reproductive part of a flower. And each stamen is made up of 2 parts, that is anther and filament. Anther contains the pollen grain. Pistil is the innermost part of a flower and it can be divided into 3 parts, that is stigma, style and ovary. So here is a picture which shows the anther and the filament. So this is the structure of stamen and it consists of anther and filament. The long tube-like structure is the filament on which the anther is present on the head, and the structure of pistil, or it's also called carpel, it can be seen that it is divided into 3 parts, that is stigma, the top part of the pistil, the tube-like structure is called the style, and the bottom structure which is swelled up is called the ovary, and inside the ovary is the ovule. So these are the main parts of a flower. Now if we look at the diagram of a flower, you'll see that the parts of the flowers are shown. So here you can see that this is the pedicle, that means the part which is attached to the stem or the branch. Then this is the green leaf-like structure which protects the flower when it is in bud stage and it is called sepal. And then the colorful part of the flower is called the petal, and then this is the stamen which consists of anther and filament, and the pistil which consists of stigma, style and ovary. This is another picture of a flower and the name of the flower is Dhatura flower. So let's identify the parts of this flower. So this is the pedicle, it has a very short pedicle. Then the sepals, the filament and the anther which together constitute the stamen, and then these are the petals and the stigma is present in the center of the flower. Now let's explore the different parts of the flower. Let us take some flowers and look at it very closely. So I have taken different flowers and you can see that the color of the flowers are different. Some are white and one is yellow, another is blue, and one more flower has been taken which is peach in color. So let's see the different parts of the flower and try to identify the parts of the flower. So these are the sepals. The sepals, as already explained, that this is the outermost part of the flower and it protects the flower. And now the colorful part, broad part of the flower is the petal. Now let us see another flower. So here the green part which is the outermost hole or the outermost ring of the flower is the sepal and the colorful part is the petal. So this is a hibiscus flower. let us take another flower. So here also you can see that the green leaf-like structures are present, and what are this? These are sepals. So if we look at the number of sepals, we'll find that the number of sepals and the number of petals are same in most of the cases. So here we can count the number of sepals and we can find out the number, and if we count the number of petals, we'll find in this case the number of petals and the sepals is different. So this can also happen that some flowers have different numbers of sepals and petals. So it depends on the species of the flower. So what is the type of flower? It depends on that. So the number also depends, the number of sepal and the number of petals also depend on the type of flower, but usually the number of sepals and the number of petals are same, usually same. Okay, so these are the different flowers and they have different colors, and as I said that the flowers are the most attractive part of the plant, and it not only attracts human being, it also attracts birds and insects. So now let's remove and find out the inner part of the flower. So let's remove the sepals. So this is another sepal which is present in this flower. So let us remove this sepal and you'll see that it comes out very easily. So this is the first hole, and inside the first hole, that is the sepal, the petals are present. So the petals are present in a particular arrangement, and now if we remove the petals, we'll be able to see the part which is present in the innermost part of the flower. So now this is the innermost part of the flower, the male reproductive part and the female reproductive part. So here you can see that the tip which I am pointing is the female reproductive part, the stigma, and the part which contains the yellow powdery substance is the stamen. So let's have a closer look of the male reproductive part. So you'll see that the male reproductive part, that is the stamen, as I already mentioned, consists of the anther and the filament. So the yellow part which you can see, the part which I am pointing out, is the anther, and it is present at the head of the filament, the stalk-like structure on which the anther is present is the filament. So the anther consists the pollen grain, and inside the pollen grain is the male gamete which will go and fuse with the egg which is present inside the ovary. So now let's look at the female reproductive part. So the part which I am pointing out is the female reproductive part, the stigma of the female reproductive part. So you can see the stigma, and the stigma is usually sticky so that the pollen which falls on it sticks and begins to germinate. Now I will show you the other parts of the female reproductive part, that is the pistil. So we have to open the outer cover very smoothly with the help of a pin or the instrument which I am using. So you have to pull it out very carefully, otherwise the part which is inside this will break. So you can see a thin thread-like structure coming out when we remove the outer cover. So this is the female reproductive part. Now can you say which part of the female reproductive part or the pistil is it? So let us little bit open it up and then we'll slowly pull out the part. So this you can now clearly see the thread like structure. So this is a part of the female reproductive part in flower. So this is the stigma as I have already showed, and the thread like structure is the style, the part of pistil. Now let's open up the bottom swollen part. So if we open up the bottom swollen part, that means the outer cover of the bottom swollen part, will find that there is a structure which is present inside that, and you can easily see that a swollen part is present, and this is the ovary of the flower. This is the style and the ovary. It is a part of the female reproductive part of flower, and if we open up the ovary, we will see small bead-like structure, and those bead-like structure are the ovule, and you can see that these are small beads-like structures. So children, I am sure that you have understood about the structure of flower and its function. Now you'll be able to explain about the parts of the flower, its structure and the functions of the parts of the flower. So let us summarize what we have learned. So the flowers are the colorful and the most attractive part of the plant. It is also the seed bearing part of the plant that grows at the end of a stem. A typical flower exhibits the following structures. Petals, these are bright, colorful and broad parts of a flower. Sepal, this is the green leaf-like structure of the flower that encloses the petals and is responsible for protecting the flower when it is in bud stage. Stamen, it is the male reproductive part of the flower and it is long and slender part of the flower, and it becomes visible only when the petals are removed, and the petals actually protect the reproductive parts of the plant. Typically a stamen consists of an anther and filament. Pistil, this is the innermost part of flower, typically consisting of a stigma, a style and ovary. Pistil is the female reproductive part of any flower. The ovary contains small bead-like structures which is called ovules. And this is all for today's class. Thank you and have a great day ahead.